Yes, good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about Plato's philosophy. So today, the conception of soul, we are talking about. You know who is Plato? Plato is the one of the greatest philosopher in the human history. He was in sixth or seventh century of BC, before the Christ. So it means a long time ago. I mean, 2,600 years ago. Plato theory was all actually which was inspired by the teaching of Socrates, right? So considered as Phresi in ancient Greek, or breath. Breath means the psychology. It is a psychology, and it's all about this psychology, but it's a philosophy. It's all about the philosophy. Those are philosophers. So to be essence of the person being, and which decide how the people behave, right, in front of a problem, in front of the human life, the problems. And the Plato considered the essence to be, it's a incomprehensible and also eternal occupant of a person's being as a person. Plato said that even though after death the soul exists and it will be able to think. The same way our Buddha has spiritually told. The same way, right? So he believed that the bodies die, but the soul will be exist. Right? The soul is continually reborn, same like the Buddha says. Subsequent bodies, like will take another body. Plato divides the soul into three parts: Legoskon and Thoimodis, spirit and reason, and anger as the well as emotions, and Epitomicon. Epitome con means appetite and the desire, which houses the desire of physical uh, pleasure. Actually, the reasoning and the spirit, these two are very important things when it comes to the Plato's tripartite theory of soul. So, uh, I tell you exactly what it says. It says, "Don't be foolish. Don't go behind on the physical pleasures only. Use your brain. Spirit, which house the anger as the well as the emotions, other emotions, and the reasoning means the behavior, right? How to be tolerate the things. This is all about conception of soul. Means there are three conception. It's like a triangle. Plato was the first known person in the history western of the Western philosophy to believe that the soul was uh, both the source of the life and the mind. Two things, right? In Plato's dialogue, which we found the soul playing many desperate roles, among other things. Plato believes that the soul is what gives in the life to a body, which was uh, articulated, and the most of the laws of all of the laws and the Pedros, terms of the self emotion, also, right? To be alive in the capable of moving yourself, soul of the soul is self mover, right? He also thinks that soul is barrier of moral properties, and where I am virtuous, and it is my soul is virtuous and opposed to my body. So this is how it goes. The soul is also in the mind, and it is that which think in us. So we see the casual oscillation between the different roles and the solos in many dialogues. First of all, the republic, like that is called a republic of dilemma, right? So, is there is any function of the souls that you could not accomplish with anything else, and such as taking care of something, also ruling, deliberating, and such other such things. Could we correctly assign these things anything besides of the soul, and they say that they are characteristics of it. No, no to nothing else. But what about living? Will we deny that this is function? There is function of the soul. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. So uh, the argument is most famously called Fedo. It means the argument, the most famously caused problems for such scholars who are trying to understand the aspect of Plato's theory of thought. Right? According to Fredo, is another person who presents the real challenge of the commentator because of Plato. Uh, Oscillates between the different conceptions of the soul, right? And also, it is critical of the form of the life argument. It is like those trisols. He thought that those trisols were being together in a one platform. Like for the instance, soul is presented something could connect the life where it is the particular of the final argument, and the connection is spelled out the uh, concretely by means of the soul's conceptual connection with the life. The connection is further developed in the prose and law, whereas the definition of the soul is given in as self motion. Rocks of, for instance, do not move unless there's something else move them. So they don't have a soul. Uh, and ultimately, unliving objects are always said behave in this way. Contrast, living things are capable driving themselves. Plato uses this observation to illustrate his famous doctrine that the soul is self-mover, right? Life is a self-motion, and the soul brings life into to a body by moving. Meanwhile, the recollection of the affinity of the argument connection between the life which is not explicated or used to be at all, right? There are two arguments present solely as a knower, and the most clear affiliatedly affinity argument where the soul is said to be immoral by the value. Also, it is affinity with with the forms that we observe the action of cognition, cognitive mind, right? So there is not clear. It is not clear that how these things, the two roles of soul, are related to each other. There is not. It is not been. You can say it is not been found yet, or it is. It is not been discovered yet. So it's a kind of a spiritual sense. That's why the Buddha says, when we comes to the triple soul, like basically the triple soul is logos, demos, and eros. Uh, the location of the head, the logos location of the head, and it is reason the regulates other parts, and dominos located near the chest region chest area related to the spirit, and ectomicon located to the stomach and related one's desire. Appetite, let's say appetite and sexual appetite. So when it comes to the reason, the logical logiston, logisticon, logisticon is the way of thinking. It's a part of the tripartite soul which loves and the truth but seeks to learn it. Plato originally identified the soul is dominated by the three parts, which is Athenian, temperament. It is like a those days there's a one concept. So Plato makes the point that logisticon would be the smallest part of the soul, but it's one of the most powerful part, and as the rulers would be the smallest population within the republic, right? So, but that nevertheless, the soul can be declared just only for all these three parts agree with that the logisticon should. So we logisticon. My single is video I have done it on when it comes to the spirit. When it comes to the spirit, according to the Plato's spirited and Thermodios, a part of the soul which is, can be angry and get the temper and the controlling things and also argument and also calls the part of the high spirit it initially identified. The soul dominated the parts of the Thymodeus, and the people is the northern regions, as per him in those days. And the appetite is sexual desire and some some kind of pleasure of the body. That's how it goes. And reincarnation, reincarnation, Plato's theory. We will talk about another time, and that's all about it. And we will talk about it later by another video. Take care. Bye bye.